we'll see what happens.
The grand experiment begins.
Yes. I don't know where to look.
The grand
At
experiment.
this point.
I'm gonna have to mute this. Hold on.
I don't know. Oh, look! It shows much more of you guys on the live.
Oh yeah, we don't have to like lean in that close now.
Yeah. Well, just because you're family doesn't mean you really want to be that close to each other.
Are we stream? Are we live?
Yeah, as far as I can tell.
Oh, hey, Mark.
Hey, Dan. Hey, Scott.
Hey, Mark.
Cheers from Pittsburgh.
So let's see. We appear to be alone. No, there's people here. Cool. Yeah. Don't comment and be on screen. That'll slow me down.
Do everything.
So Dan's traveling this week. Dan's traveling and visiting family, which is turns out to be Scott there. Scott, you are actually our only ever visitor on Friday Sips Live, and you're now our only ever repeat visitor.
I'm honored. I hope maybe we can, make a 5-timers club and all that kind of thing.
I wouldn't get too excited. Nobody else has really ever asked to be on with us, so we're not sure why you show up, but welcome.
Yeah, we show up every Friday just because we get a drink. I don't know what these guys are doing.
I don't know where I am, honestly, and that's the.
We're in Scott's haunted house in Pittsburgh. Everything in Pittsburgh is haunted. Yeah. Hi, Larry.
All right, I'm guessing things are reasonably synced up. We'll see how this works. I'm sure Larry will let us know.
Mark, what are you sipping?
I am sipping birthday. So you were so kind and generous to burn what had to be a big favor to get a liter of Weller 12, which I happen to quite enjoy drinking. And then I brought Antique 107, and then we made some poor man's Pappy out of it, which was kind of, it was all right the night we did it. I brought it back because I guess over the week or so, how long has it been? 2 weeks or a week? Whatever it was. It got really good. Sitting in the bottle really, really changed things. So I was excited about that. All right. And I believe you guys are sipping on some of the Prophet Booker Nose distillate.
Well, first we started with a little bit of knob. It's a single barrel select that Scott picked up here in Pittsburgh. It's a Pittsburgh local. And it's just as good as all the other bottles I've had from store picks in Colorado. And then we're going to transition. I'm going to drink all of Scott's Bookers. So that's why I came to Pittsburgh.
Solid plan. Scott, now you need to know something about Dan. He is generous with his own whiskey, not as generous as he's going to be with yours.
Right.
Well, fortunately, we've got, so this is the 2020, this is Scott's whiskey, by the way, that I'm wielding around as though it's mine.
Well, I don't know what it is.
Well, it's all right. This is even better for me. So we got the Ronnie's Batch 2022-01 and Kablamo 2022-02, the Lumberyard Batch. So we got two to compare. And Scott has generously decided to open the second bottle so that we can compare the two batches.
Is he going to open the second bottle, or is he just going to not stop you from doing it?
Oh, we got dogs. Dogs are here. So we're gonna.
Hello, Mark.
Hey, Lucy.
Lots of privacy here today. All right, get down. So anyway, we're gonna do that. So I want to hear more about the poor man's Pappy, Mark, because when I sipped it, now I've had Pappy. Have you had Pappy? Like the real Pappy?
No, I've never had anything past Old Rip Van Winkle 10.
Okay, I've had the real Pappy. I think it was the 15 or I can't remember the year, and it was phenomenal. And I hate to say that because it is just so expensive to get. But it was really phenomenal. And so when we did the 12 and the Antique 107, the poor man's Pappy, it was not that impressive, but we didn't let it sit for any period of time, really. We shook it.
Yes, I shook it violently because I had seen somebody using the big heavy duty blender. I got one over in the Vitamix, whatever. Big blender. They blend their blends in that, and that accelerates that marrying time. So best I could do was to approximate that as an old drunk dude shaking a bottle around your garage.
Right. But now it's been a week.
Been
Or
a week,
almost a
and it made a difference.
Yeah.
I still don't know. It still won't tell me if it tastes like Pappy because I still never had any real Pappy.
What
But it's
changed?
definitely enjoyable.
What changed from Friday to now?
It's just creamy, and it's got this heavy vanilla that isn't in either of the other two, which is kind of bizarre. So, but it's sweeter, which I think is part of the angle of mixing up a lower proof, slightly older Weller 12 with a higher proof, slightly younger 107.
Yeah.
But it's quite good.
Yeah.
I think I like it. I may like it better than either of the two separately.
Really? All right, because in my mind when we were sipping on your birthday, it was the Antique 107 still kind of wins out among all of them.
And that's what I was sipping before was just regular Antique 107.
Yeah.
It may, but there's definitely a different layer when they go together, especially on the finish.
So Scott just informed me before we recorded that he can't find Weller here anywhere in Pittsburgh. We're gonna have to.
It's too bad we didn't know that before you left, so we could stash a bottle for him in the luggage.
That would have been smart.
Yeah.
In lieu of that, we're gonna have to find him some Weller.
Yeah, and so I don't have to keep it on the screen. I just wanted to show everybody I've been working hard to get my whiskey house in order.
Yeah.
So the picture on the screen is a new shelf in a closet upstairs in my office because I had overrun the cabinets, which is the cabinets kind of back there. But my wife and I agreed that once I filled that cabinet up, I'd stop buying whiskey.
That didn't happen.
Did not happen. And so it had spilled over into a few other pieces of furniture and was stuffed into the cabinet. So that I moved upstairs so that I could, I don't know. So it appears as if I haven't completely lost my mind.
Well, see, if you fill the cabinet, but then slowly it filters to the shelf, then the cabinet's never full, and you can continue to fill it.
That's true. Also, my wife is a saint, so it really never has been an issue. I think she knew the minute we made that deal that it was a fool's deal to make in the first place.
Well, I keep stroking this bottle.
Let's get it going.
This is your bottle.
Please don't do things like that.
Hands off.
Sorry.
Hands off. Fuck out. All right.
Sorry.
So can we just say pour cam, but you don't have a pour cam?
Here's a pour cam. So I should mention, I've gotten one bottle of Booker's in the last many months, and it was just a couple weeks ago, and it was this batch, the Ronnie's batch. So this was nice. I got to be able to sample it. And funny enough, I just realized that whilst we were playing guitars and drinking whiskey for Mark's birthday, I got all crazy and opened another bottle of Booker's whilst we were drinking the Weller. And I can't remember if it was because I was just tired of drinking the poor man's Pappy, or if I was just happy enough. It was time to crack open.
You didn't seem terribly enthralled with drinking Weller.
It's not my jam. I don't know for the folks that are listening, but Weller to me is good, not great. And I think if I see the standard green label stuff for $30, okay, but I never see it anymore for that. So
yeah, it shouldn't. It breaks my. I did pay $30 for it once or twice.
Yeah,
just because it hadn't surfaced in a while. But then it started to pop back up, particularly store picks. So now, as you could tell from that picture, I've got I don't know 8 or 10 special reserves.
Mm-hmm. But every time so like we're drinking that Weller, and it was good. Like especially the Antique 107, which is my favorite. But then you open a Booker's, and this is just so perfect. And this actually tastes a little better because I didn't pay for it. Scott did, so it's actually got just a little extra flavor. But this to me, like, I don't know, I just can't stomach buying something that is so hard to find and so expensive when this is also hard to find, but also just perfect every time. Um, and I even opened, I think the one I opened at your birthday was the Shiny Barrel, or was it the Shiny Barrel or Teresa's batch? I had a duplicate of something.
I don't know. I don't. Now that I say it, I don't remember. I
Oh
definitely,
no,
if it was Teresa's batch, I think I would have been more fond of it.
it was a tag along batch.
Tag along. That's right.
Tag along.
Those ones I did not send back from Alabama.
Yeah, yeah. But we've got, to me, it's just every single time we open one of these, it's just heads and shoulders above everything else. And I gotta believe, I mean, like Larry, you got to have some Weller out there. Are you a Weller fan? I don't know who else is actually here today to listen, but because I don't actually have the view today to see who's there. But
So far, it looks just to be Larry.
okay, so Larry, are you a Weller fan? And
don't forget
if you are,
you were going to tell Larry something too.
oh yeah, I will in just a moment. But fan, why? And, and like, there's got to be that bottle where you just, you compare it to something you would pay the same amount of money for, and like, it's expensive, it's hard to find. But like, to me, there's just other bottles that are equally hard to find, that are equally expensive, and they're just better. Larry's a Weller fan, but he hasn't seen it in years.
Yeah, I'll give you something that I sipped on last night that I will drink any day along with Booker's. Stay right there.
Larry, well,
Excited.
I know he's leaving the chair. That's serious business. And if he goes to
The Happy Mark shuffle back to the corner.
Larry, while Mark's back there, thank you so much for donating to the freelance fund. I very much appreciate it, and I will be sending you a T-shirt as soon as I can. Gonna need your size and your shipping address, which I can probably get from Mark. But I do appreciate you. This guy also donated, so thank you guys so much for donating, and tell everybody. Oh man, we're getting into rare breed territory. Okay.
So I love me some Booker's, but somewhere around 85 or $90 a bottle, I started to go. And now, where it's just hard to get one under 100 or 110, I'm kind of out when I can buy these any day of the week for 50, 55 bucks.
Yeah. Is it a matter of time before I have asked this before rare breed is going up in price?
Well, I was not worried about that at all, because for years it had been all wild turkey. Even the Master's Keep releases have been ignored by the whiskey geeks. They would sell okay at retail at $1.50, $1.70, but they never brought anything on the secondary. And then the Russell's 13 last year came out. It was just knock your socks off good. All of a sudden it's selling for $400 and $500 a bottle, and I'm watching Master's Keep releases now going for double retail, which is not crazy, but it's way more than any Master's Keep would do before.
That's crazy. I'm sorry. Twice retail is just crazy.
Well, and the last one we had, that Cornerstone Rye, was a beautiful whiskey, but no way was it $100 better than a Russell single barrel rye. Just no way. Yeah. So I don't know.
With the whatchamacallit, the single rick house. Have you guys seen this? Hey, you guys know it? Do you know that?
Yeah, no. 250.
250. So like Wild Turkey went from not releasing, special stuff to all of a sudden we're doing $250 bottles.
Well, they were releasing special stuff. They just didn't price it crazy.
Yeah.
And the secondary market didn't pick it up. And I think they saw the success of Russell's 13 and went, all right, well, let's cash in a bit.
Yeah, let's take these dummies' money. Yeah.
Well,
by these dummies, I mean,
you're calling dummy.
I love Wild Turkey, but I don't keep track of all the rick houses. But if you're a serious Wild Turkey fan, you know that every one of those, that Fort Nelson rick houses. Oh, you got to have that. So I'm sure they'll sell out those $250 bottles when they come out of those special warehouses.
Are you going to buy one if you see it?
Absolutely not.
Except.
Well, unless I get a chance to buy one, and then probably.
Then I'll be in my cart before I know it.
Yeah. Just a whole
Uh,
armful.
I'm just hoping I don't get a chance. That's all.
Yeah.
That's all. If
Right.
I get one of those special emails I get from my favorite store and there's one on the list,
Yeah.
I don't know.
We have an obligation to our audience, Mark, all two of whom are here.
Yeah, and I mean, at this point, I'll probably just share samples with everybody that watches us on Friday, just to spread the
Exactly.
love.
See, it all works out
Well,
for
I
everybody.
think what I'll do now, Dan, since we've talked about that, is I will have a little of this lovely rare breed. I did last night, but you know what I did with it last night?
Oh, don't tell me. You ruined it with a cocktail?
I made a lovely old fashioned out of it. Look, man,
Killing me.
I can't be a baller with much anything these days, but I can make a hell of an old fashioned with good whiskey.
I don't deny your skill. And actually, Scott made, what was it, Rusty Nail?
Yeah.
A Rusty Nail last night. I didn't drink it, but Rachel did, and she loved it. So
At least I'm making classic cocktails, not that silly frou stuff.
I like rusty nails. Come on.
I don't even know what a rusty nail is or what's in it, so I'm just being a butthead.
It's just it's only two elements. It's scotch and then drambuie, which is honeyed scotch.
So it's scotch
So
and
it's
scotch.
scotch and scotch.
I'll accept that.
Yeah. And yeah, I mean, it's a little on the sweet side, but if you use a peated scotch and you get that smoky sweet playing off each other, it's really nice.
I like it, and also, you know, in that right there is, you know, Benedictine and all the different constituents of cocktail. I'm a cocktail fan.
Yeah, me too. Yeah, old fashioned.
We're sophisticated. Your brother-in-law just keeps just down in barrel proof whiskeys all he can figure out.
We got work to do. There's
Well, okay, so yeah, I would love to just talk about, you know, we were working on the Knob Creek. I guess that's their version of like a barrel proof whiskey. It's at 120. It's not.
It's probably close, but anytime you see a dead even proof like that, I mean, I guess it could happen by chance, but they meant it to be a particular proof. They're all exactly 100 proof at that point.
But I just mean, you know, it's at least somewhat comparable. The Booker's is 124.3.
Sure.
But the Booker's is just head and shoulders above. It just makes me want to keep doing this. I mean,
but you can buy that. I don't know what y'all pay for those in a control state, but those are $50-$55 bottles here. Those store picks. Booker's is
60.
Yeah, Booker's is 100-110. You know, and Booker's is, there's no way there's not older whiskey in it, but that Knob Creek's going to be older, 2 or 3 years older than the age on the Booker's bottle. And there's a difference in filtration. That the Knob Creek gets chill filtered, where the Booker's gets no filtration at all, other than get the big chunks of char out of the thing before you put it in the bottle. So there's differences in there. I mean, for my 2 cents, I'm always going to want a bottle of Booker's at some point. I've just passed that point where I feel like, given everything else, I can, you know, I just can't,
you know why it's okay for you to give up on Booker's at $100? Because I haven't, and so I'm gonna buy more.
And as it turns out, I'm in your garage every week.
Once a week at least, you are in my garage. Scott, on the other hand, we're gonna drink all his whiskey, and then he's gonna be SOL.
I think we've been getting pretty lucky as of late. Maybe I'll get another one somewhere.
Yeah, because you just picked this one up just before I came out, right?
Yeah.
What is it in the when I did not send those bottles back from Alabama, also a control state? I think I paid $95 a piece for those that I did not send in the mail back to me.
That's what they are.
And I paid $95 for the last one I got, except it was like one of those, you know, it's an allocated bottle now in Colorado, and you have to like be a loyal customer of blah blah blah, and, you know. So I just happened to wander in, and I saw Booker's, and my heart did it.
Yeah.
And like,
the one we got for your birthday, you know, I only got because of the relationships. You know, I had to ask for it. It was hidden in the back.
Right.
Yeah, they had some in the case, and the guy looked at me like I was a criminal and picked one up and then took it to the register. He didn't even let me touch it. And then just said, it'll be behind the counter for you when you're ready.
Yeah.
You know?
Concierge service.
Yeah.
When we get my little special club thing, we have a little token. Here, I'll show you my little token.
Oh yeah, they get toys that they have to bring in.
You have to have your little
Medallion.
and then they bring it out. It'll be in a paper bag with your name written on it and the SKU number. And so that way up front, they don't have to take it out. They just type the SKU in.
Gotcha.
It's very clandestine.
How weird that we've gotten to that point. How so strange to me that's something that we do now.
Well, I refer you to the picture from my closet,
Yeah.
which
So
look,
you're saying
is
you're not-
I'm not trying to justify it and say I don't have some sort of issue with the purchase of whiskey, given that that's only a portion of what's in this house. But it's not the biggest pile of whiskey anywhere, and none of it's crazy elusive. I mean, I'll drink any of it anytime. So.
Well, that just goes back to rare breed, right? Like that's probably what I drink the most of at these points.
Yeah.
Yeah, the bootlegger day. You're absolutely right. It just seems like Larry says it's like almost like the bootlegger days. It's like, yeah, it's like this is absurd that we're chasing bottles down and having to enter clubs to get in, and
Well, and the thing is, they're just not the bottles we're chasing. They used to just be elusive and really good. They're just not that much better than what's just sitting on a shelf.
Right.
In some cases. And I would argue in the case of a lot of the Wild Turkey and Russell's products, you're just not going to get anything any better. So,
all right. So here's a question for you. So Booker's, you're out. Booker's, you're out at 100 or 95. I think you said, right? Or 85.
I'd still pay 90 or 95 for a bottle.
All right. What else is on that list of bottles that you're out? You're not paying anymore. You're not buying it. Yeah, that's a good one.
These I paid for these little gold tops when they first came out. I paid $60 a piece for these. Broke my heart, but I hadn't seen a bottle of Antique 107 in almost a year at that point. I have 3 of the screw tops left that I paid $28 a piece for. And frankly, I was kind of mad at having to pay $28. Those are $23 bottles from the past. And special reserve, that's a $16, $17 bottle of whiskey.
Yeah.
So I'm out on, and I love this. I would drink this all the time. Mm-hmm. I'm just out. Now they bring $80 to $100, and I got a store pick of one of these at the with this. Those bring $250.
Get out of here.
No, I think I paid $50 for it because that's part of the thing. But $250.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Ridiculous.
Yeah. Did I mention what that cream of Kentucky rye goes for secondary?
I think there must be the secondary market is some janitors that need some solid cleaning fluid is what.
Yeah. That's an engine degree.
It's bad. Did you get a sample of that?
No.
Oh man, I should have brought a sample of that too, man, just to like clean your windows or something. It was just bad.
I was thinking too, because I need to go back to the bottle on the Hidden Barn, and now they're up to the 3rd release. And it's my most disappointing bottle of the year, and I don't even count that cream of Kentucky because that's just foul. I'm not disappointed by that. Yeah, I'm not disappointed in that. I'm bizarrely shocked at how anybody put that in a bottle and sent it out to me. It's awful.
Yeah,
I really need to taste that because just with the disdain both of you have for it.
So bad.
Well, I don't know that that's fair, Scott. I don't think it's disdain. It's just I don't understand how that got in a bottle. How did somebody taste that and go, "Oh yeah, I'm going to send that out with my name on the label"? It's terrible.
It's funny too because I came to Scott's house and I'm drinking Booker's. I'm going to go home and send him some cream of Kentucky rye.
We'll send him something else. Let's send him a bottle of Weller. We're gonna get him some Weller or something.
Yeah, maybe we can't just send him cream of Kentucky. That would be cruel. Here, have a dog. Odin here would like a sip of Booker's.
Odin, huh?
Yeah. So we got the batch 2, or the batch 2022 2.
Yeah.
I don't. Do you ever read
Scott's just going in and opening it up like a regular old bottle of whiskey.
He just does it. It's not like when Jacob, we were eating pizza and he just like was slugging Booker's.
Well, he did that with the. That's when I realized whiskey nights really aren't whiskey nights anymore. They're more gatherings. I poured him some of that. What are y'all doing?
Can you hear the dog like puking right now?
I could hear it. I didn't know that's what it was.
Yeah. He's all right.
You need to pour some whiskey on it so it smells better.
Yeah. No, what was Jacob drinking? Where we were like eating pizza.
That was the Four Roses small batch select. It was
right. It's like a $250 bottle.
Yeah, in a restaurant that was like a $85 or $90 pour, and he's just choking it back with some pizza.
Oh my God.
Hey man, look, we've talked about it 100 times. If I'm willing to share, and I love sharing whiskey, once it's in the glass, you do what you want to do with it, whatever makes you happy. And in that case, he looked incredibly happy having some lovely pizza and sipping on some 16-year-old bourbon.
I agree with that. Yeah, you don't want to like tell people how to enjoy things because that takes the fun out of it.
Exactly.
That sounds like you, Mark.
Well, it's the truth. I want you to try and experience what the distiller meant and all that good stuff. But what I like is not what you like, and vice versa. And if somebody once said, "So let me get this straight. If I want bourbon and Diet Coke, you're going to let me do that in your house?" I'm like, "Yeah, I'll pour it for you if you want. I don't care as long as you're happy."
Yeah,
be happy.
All right. Should we do the batch and this?
Tell us about that batch.
Well, see, that's the thing. I was just asking. He comes with these like playing cards, which I love. And this one is the 2022 2, and it's pretty similar in proof. It's 124.8, whereas the Ronnie's batch is 124.3. So it's pretty close. And age is the same, almost the same within a month. And then they got the little stories, and the story to me doesn't really make a whole lot of damn difference. But there's a lot more like different barrels in this one, in the lumberyard batch, than there is in this one. So I'm curious if that will have an effect on the complexity or anything like that.
And I don't know. I know they pull barrels from a particular rick house, in a particular part of the rick house for Booker's. But there's got to be a little bit older whiskey in there, because if you're going to put an age on it, it's got to be the age of the youngest. But I think they get that specific about X number of years and X number of months to throw us off the trail that there really isn't a 6-year-old whiskey that's that good. It's got some 8 or 9-year-old or 10-year-old in there too.
Do you have any other batches kicking around? Because I'm curious, because it seems here, so 48% came from fifth floor of 7-story warehouse Z. So warehouse Z. And then this one has 28% from warehouse Z. So that's the biggest percentage for both of them. And I wonder if that's like the secret Booker's warehouse.
Well, I'll refer you here to the top right quadrant of that picture. Yeah. There are 4 bottles of Booker's up there. So you've got 2022s, right?
Yeah.
And you got 01 and 02?
Mm-hmm.
I think I might have I don't remember if I have 03 up there. I've got a 2022 something up there.
Go check.
So what is it you want to know?
If it's warehouse Z, if it's that seems to be both of these, the majority of what's in these bottles is from warehouse Z. So I'm curious if that's like the Booker warehouse. Maybe we're onto something, Mark. That's where like the real old stuff is.
Well, why don't we research that? Because I don't really want to run upstairs at this point.
Oh, it's upstairs. That's right. Yeah.
Dan's trying to plan stage 1 of the heist.
Scheming. All right, pour this before I lose my nerve. Yes, let's do this. It wouldn't be a Friday sip if I didn't slam this on the table. Thank you.
But
Don't we all know it?
It's true. We have a habit. A tradition.
We don't have a habit.
Wait a minute now. I've seen you spill more than enough on my tabletop.
Oh, spilling it. Yeah, we definitely spilled. But I thought you were talking about the.
Oh, well, that's me.
That's you.
This nose is way more gentle.
Is it? Because to me, it smells a lot like Weller 12.
That's weird that smells like yours smells like alcohol. Maybe something got in your bottle. I don't know. Yeah, this is way less ethanol than this.
Yeah,
Than the Ronnie's batch.
Yeah, I definitely think some Weller 12 got in that bottle.
Oh, that's good. This is good.
And that's Ronnie's batch you drinking there?
No, we drank Ronnie's batch first.
this one's Ronnie's.
So what's the green one? What's the name of it?
This is the Lumberyard batch. This is the one that has more barrels in it. So it's or more, mixed in it. And there's 28 from the infamous Warehouse Z. Which
Infamous. Now it's infamous because you
It's
said
infamous.
it once 15 minutes ago. Now it's
I'm spreading
infamous.
the rumor. I'm going to be the guy that's responsible for bottles of Booker's going up to $500 a piece, and then I'm cashing out. I'm Elon Musking this. This has 28% from Warehouse Z, 28% from Warehouse I, and then there's like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 more.
Warehouse Z is mentioned twice.
Oh yeah, there's 2. Oh man, so this is actually 38.
That's a double Z batch. Those are extremely rare.
45 from Warehouse Z. So majority Warehouse Z. I'm onto something, you have to admit.
Based on a very small sample size of exactly one bottle, I'm sure you cracked the code of how they batch up Bookers.
Hashtag science, Mark.
Hold on, there seems to be a man in black on my porch.
He's shown up
Yeah.
to confiscate. He's eliminating me from the game.
That's Freddie. No, he wants to know what's going on. How do you know these things?
Yeah, right. It's actually Booker knows because Pittsburgh is haunted. Didn't I mention this? No.
You did mention that.
Yeah. Everything's haunted. I think this is the better batch. What do you think?
I think the initial burst of flavor is better, but I get like a longer, I don't want to call it stringent, but like there's like a little bit harsher oak finish on it.
On this one?
Yeah.
I feel like I get it on that one.
Huh.
Man, it's good though. It's like debating between really good and really good. I mean,
Yeah.
we're splitting hairs.
Now I'm really curious because I'm zooming in on that picture on the closet, and that's a 2020 something and a 2021. I wonder what's behind it.
You might have. I mean, I love that we're doing zoom in on pictures for something that is literally in your house right now.
Okay, y'all entertain yourselves. I'll be right back.
All right.
The power of inertia. I think there's an 80s song.
Yeah. I don't know. I think this one is better, but better. What does better mean? I mean, to me, it's just there's more complexity of flavor in this. This is good, but it's less. I don't know. Just this feels wide in the palate.
I agree. I mean, I think that definitely the initial sip is markedly better.
Yeah.
Noticeably better. But to me, I don't know. It's not. It was just that first one that it just like remained a little hot and a little oaky for a little too long.
Well, then I should take this home and finish it. Yeah. I don't want to.
Okay, what I have is actually the 2020. Oh, never mind. I thought it said 2022. This is the 2020 batch. Doesn't matter. 22.
You ran all upstairs for that. Well, check the warehouse anyway on that. Let's see. That doesn't hurt to look. Since you got it here. So which batch is that, first of all?
Oh, 2020-03, the pigskin.
Pigskin. That was a good batch.
Well, only 12% comes from Z.
Where does the majority come
from? X.
Z plus. We'll see. So X is just the annex of Z, It's just the outhouse of Z.
Sure.
I'm sticking with Z.
It does say here, normally Z is the secret, but for this one batch, we just snuck some X in.
We checked. We
Um,
changed it just to piss Dan
It
off.
says Dan is right.
Yes. Yes. See.
Yeah.
Booker knows all. Booker knows all. All right. So you single-handedly destroyed my Z theory, but that
Well, I
doesn't mean
didn't.
I'm
The
not.
the card did, Dan. I didn't have anything to do with it.
I'm going to spread the rumor anyway.
I
Wait,
expect
I'm
no
going
less.
to wait to buy 2 or 3 more bottles. Then I'm going to spread the rumor so that it goes up in price crazy.
I have a
Sure.
question for you two. How large are these warehouses?
They're giganimous. They're 7, 6, 7. Well, it varies widely, but I mean, some of them are 6, 7, 8 stories tall. And I don't know how
And then
many
they have
barrels. Probably.
26 of them?
Oh yeah, lots of them. Yeah. I don't know how many. It's readily available. It's not a secret, but I don't know how many. How many different warehouses they have.
Yeah, and it varies by distillery too.
Yeah, and remember there are. This was 4 or 5 years ago. There were more barrels of bourbon aging in Kentucky than there were people, and now that's accelerated even more in the last few years. A lot of barrels out there.
That's insane.
Explains a lot about Kentucky.
Yeah.
Well, I don't think it's them. I think it's the rest of the world that wants the whiskey.
True. Fair point. Fair point.
Yeah,
How's
All
the
right,
how's the
well.
Weller 12?
delicious.
Yeah.
Well, 12's always delicious.
Man, I mean, it's good. I don't know. What am I missing, Mark?
A palate.
Nothing. We all like different things, Dan.
Yeah. I don't know. I feel like I'm supposed to like Weller more than I do. But you know what? I don't know. The 12 was good. Let me also just, before I get hate mail or anything, it was good. But I don't get the wow of it.
I just like it. It's soft and creamy, and it's got a sweetness to it because of the wheat. It just makes it a little different than most bourbons. I like wheated bourbons.
You've had the 12, the full proof, the antique 107, and the special reserve.
An old rip
What's the best,
10.
what's the best one?
I have to admit, the one time I had full proof, that was a bad evening. It was the first time in 30 years I've been truly, absolutely hammered.
Yeah.
And I remember thinking, that's pretty good.
Yeah.
I think all things considered, I'd just soon drink that.
Yeah, the 107. I think I'm with you on that.
Yeah.
Although
like
I haven't
12.
had the CYPB or whatever, but those are all different.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm not going out of my way for those. The thing is though, and I realize it's a little bit just because of the timing of when I first started having this stuff. I mean, this is in my head, this will always be a $23 or $4 bottle of whiskey. So I may be out on this one, and just I haven't been forced into that decision yet because I've got plenty of them.
Yeah, right.
But I'm not paying. I won't pay 60 for this again. I only did it for these 3 bottles because I just hadn't seen one in so long.
Yeah.
And
Yeah, I
I
think
frankly, other than the store picks, I haven't had a chance to buy any since I bought these 2 or 3 years ago.
Yeah. I think it's going to come around full circle, though. I think we'll see it on the shelf again.
I hope so. I like it, and I think that all the distilleries are probably loaded up right now. They're building distillery capacity at a breakneck pace.
Yeah.
I think that's why we started to see Knob Creek and others releasing really old whiskeys. There's a Knob Creek 18 out now. They've got whiskey, but yeah, I won't even pay. I would not pay 60 for this again, but this is probably the one I enjoy the most.
Yeah. Larry, I think it's 90. Mark, what's the proof of the Weller 12?
90. Yeah.
That sounds right. That sounds correct. Because Mark just
90 for 12 and special reserve, the old rip 10 and the old, of course, 107 both. No, old rip 10's 101. Shit, I don't remember. I don't know.
I don't remember. It's been a long time since I had that.
Yeah,
That was
I've
also
only
very
ever
good.
I only owned one bottle of Old Rip 10. I stood in line when I lived in Alabama for that and paid $59 for it. And it was pretty good. I mean, the last little bit of it was quite tasty, but
Mhm.
I wouldn't pay much more than retail for it. Maybe
Yeah.
I might pay $100 for one, but that's about it.
I would pay $100 for one. I thought it was that good.
That same night, that the bad night with the Weller Full Proof, we also drank an entire bottle of Old Rip 10. 4 of us did. It was bad, but that bottle was pretty tasty. I gotta say.
Yeah. Larry is in accordance. I think the 107 is where it's at. I mean, I'll see if I can get you a bottle of that. It's harder to find
That'd be
the
awesome.
107, but
Yeah.
if I can't find the 107, I'll get you the special reserve. But they're two different animals, man. Like
Yeah.
the 107 to me it's like the same thing, right? It's just got more of a broader spectrum of flavor. I think that's what I like about it.
All right. Well, this has been
We got Bookers.
interesting. What?
I said we got Bookers to drink over here, so
Yeah, I don't.
we got ghosts.
I do,
Chase.
but I'm not going to open. I have 39 open bottles of bourbon, so
We'll just go down to my garage.
something's
There's
got to
nothing
happen. I don't. We can't keep opening bottles every Friday and not finishing them. Also, we can't open bottles on Friday and finish them. That would be bad.
Challenge accepted, Mark. Challenge accepted.
All right. Anything else from Pennsylvania?
I think we're gonna go drink some more whiskey and chase ghosts around haunted Pittsburgh.
Okay, Dan, you chase goats.
That's what we do here.
So this Booker's has some hallucinogenics in it, I think.
Yeah.
You know, back when the men were men and the sheep were scared. That's where you are. I guess that's okay.
That's right.
All right. Cheers, everybody. Larry, thanks, man. Appreciate you.
See ya.
I'm gonna figure out how to turn this off. There's too many things